gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm the commissioner. It's week 8. We're in TFL Studios. What's up, everyone? It's been a while. Got a lot to get into. Pardon my absence the last 3 or 4 weeks. You know the commissioner has other things he needs to take care of, but he will always make TFL his #1 priority. Okay, as I said, it's week 8. We're over halfway through the season. Your team is what your team is. If your team's got 1 loss, you're a pretty solid team. If your team's just kind of hanging in the middle of the pack, that looks like you're average at best, maybe a little bit below or above. If your team's got 1 win, or dare I say no wins, that's what you are. Just know that. With that said, we're going to get into a lot of updates this week. We're going to talk about the current standings, where we will see those teams at the bottom, at the top, some of those mid-level tier teams. We'll talk about the mid-season MVPs. A lot of players are doing well this year, and we'll see what players are taking their team to the next level. That will all be with the professor. I'll invite him back in the TFL studios, and he'll download you guys on that information. We'll also update the weekly winners. As you know, it's $20 a week, and any kind of transactions that have transpired via trades or free agents. I'll update who has been active in that market and let you know where you're at right now, balance-wise. And that will be brought to you by fan favorite Johnny Cash, the man. You know who he is. Also, we'll get into this week's matchup. I'll bring those to you with the GOW Game of the Week. And we'll end with the power rankings. We'll talk about all that this week, and we'll get into that actually right after these messages. It's the Commish, TFL Studios.
To the left. Your other left. Aeschylus glabra. Perfect. Aeschylus glabra. It's beautiful.
Now that's art. I like your little bush, though.
It's a tree. It's a buckeye tree. Aeschylus glabra, bro.
Well, thank you there. Commission, welcome back. This is TFL Week 8 update. You got the professor here. You know where we are, TFL Studios. I'm here to bring you guys the current standings and the league MVPs through half the season. As you know, we're through halfway. And we'll talk about that just a little bit. First, I want you guys to take a look at the current standings and where we're at with points forced and points against. So take a look. Okay, I know you guys saw the first place team because that's what I would look at. 6-1, EA Sports, you're looking pretty good. I like your squad. And then conversely, the last place team, 1 win, 6 losses, the Wildcats. One thing to note, the professor didn't miss. Wildcats, last place team, has the 6th most points scored in the league, and obviously the 1st most points scored against. So it's a matter of time before he starts racking up the wins. Then you got the middle of the pack, the 4-3 and the 3-4 teams. That's pretty much what they are, still in the hunt, but not a top tier, not a bottom tier. They're just treading water right now. Let's talk about league MVPs and what teams they are affecting and who they are. First off, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Thomas Brady. 215 points, 2nd round draft pick. The Murder Squad. Most points in the league, has the Murder Squad in a great position. Think he's going to have a good shot at winning the overall MVP. Number 2, we've got Phillip Rivers, who was acquired via trade from the Wildcats. Put up 203 points thus far from franchise. Huge, huge acquisition. Andy Dalton. on No One's Perfect, picked up as his second quarterback late in the draft. 197 points by Andrew Dalton? I don't know. But it scored. No One's Perfect's looking okay this year. The final MVP candidate, halfway through the season, the professor has another late round draft pick for No One's Perfect. Devontae, I'm going to run like my head's on fire, Freeman. 173 points. 70 more points than any other closest running back. Jeez, Commissioner, that's like LT numbers. Back in 2007, LT. 30 plus touchdowns, LT. I digress. There you have it. We're talking about the current standings. Midway League MVPs. It's the professor. It's week 8. Johnny Cash, what you got to say, my man?
Thank you for that great rundown, Professor. You know who it is. It's Johnny Cash. I'm here to talk to you about the weekly winners and where we're at with the transactions right now in week 8 of the TFL fantasy season. Okay, running down the weekly winners, we have a 3-time winner and everyone else has just won one time. We know it's $20 a week. We know that's coming straight from Johnny Cash out of his pocket into your pocket. Here we go. Week 1, EA Sports. Week 2, The Rook. Week 3, you got mossed. Week 4, you got mossed. Week 5, No One's Perfect. Week 6, you got mossed. Damn. That's $60 out of my pocket till you got mossed. And week 7 last week, Franchise closely edging out the Murder Squad. So there you have it. EA Sports, The Rook, you got mossed 3 times, No One's Perfect, and Franchise have all got $20 minus the $60 going to you got mossed. So with that said, we'll get into the transactions. That's money coming back to yours truly, Johnny Cash, straight in my pocket. 22 free agent pickups and 1 trade, Franchise, money coming in. Architect, 18 free agent acquisitions, money coming in. $3 per free agent acquisition. Wildcats, 16 free agents, 2 trades, doing work with only 1 win. So fucking legit, 12 free agents, No One's Perfect, 11 free agents, and Aaron Out My Johnson, 10 free agents. Everyone else, you still in single digits. You haven't spent any money with the man, the myth, Johnny Cash. With that said, I'm going to hand it back to you, Mr. Commish. Take it over, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Johnny Cash. Lot going on with the weekly winners. Lot going on with the transactions. Let's get into it. Week 8 matchups, starting with the Rook versus the Architect. Commish has the Rook edging out in a much-needed win this week over the Architect. Could be a close matchup. I'm taking the Rook. Next up, we got Wildcats getting over their first win, getting their second win against Murder Squad, who is a top-tier team. And then we'll take Dixie Wreck over So Fucking Legit. We'll take Franchise easily, just easily scraping You Got Moss, and EA Sports, top team in the league, will remain number 1, beating No One's Perfect. You know what time it is, Commissions? Dum dum dum. GOW game of the week between America's team sitting at 4-3 versus Aaron Out My Johnson, 5-2. Good squads right here. Going to be a tough matchup. I see America's team slightly edging out Aaron Out My Johnson just because he's got the better players. And I'm basing this off last week's performance, of course. Tannehill being at quarterback. Lacey probably get back in the flow. Going to be tough against Denver this week. And AJ Green going up against A-Rod and Steve Smith. I only see the 2 key players on Aaron Out My Johnson. But it is nonetheless game of the week. Anything can happen in that game. Should be a good matchup. Pay close attention. With that said, let's get into the league power rankings. Here we go.
EA Sports. Burn a squad. Zoom in on it. Hey, hide that ball spot, man.
You just got mossed.
No one's perfect.
Why you look so serious?
That's original.
Nike sponsors your team, America's team. Franchise. 2 times. Coming time. Architect. Building championship. So fucking legit. Dixie Rex.
Restart. Redo that again.
Okay, there you have our power rankings. That ends this week's report. As you know, we got New England and Miami tonight. Get your Brady's in, get your Gronks in, your Edelmans. Maybe you're playing Blunt tonight. Of course, Tannehill's playing after last week. Lamar Miller, and probably Landry and Matthews. So get all those guys in. It's the commish saying good luck to all the owners this week. I will see you next week in week 9. Get a win if you need it. It's the commish.